Alrighty. Hey guys, how are we doing? I'm a bit, little bit behind here tonight. Okay, let me get caught up. I hope everybody's having a wonderful week so far. This is like right there, but that's okay. Okay. So hopefully everybody can see and hear me and we are all good to go. Again, my apologies for being just a little late and unprepared. It's been a crazy week. Alrighty. Hi, Mina. Hi, Life Trip. Glad you can be here. Hi, Lexi. Hi, Lynx Lady. Hello, Estella. Hi, Steve. Okay, so my burners are still kind of warming here, but let's go ahead and dive in. Hi, Will. Glad you're here too. Will, I turned the chili off so you don't have to stir it. So it should be fine. All right. It's been a very, very crazy week. We have just received like another foot of snow. Mina, no, we still do not have our power restored. It's been a week and I don't know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So yeah, it's been like 11 days that we've not had our normal power. So we're still running on backup generator power. We do have the giant, very expensive part that broke in our off-grid system, and it's on our kitchen table, which is fantastic. And we are going to get that installed and replaced tomorrow. Hopefully that's the problem, and hopefully that fixes it. So hi, Larry. Hi, Angela. Yeah, Mina, it's been crazy. And on top of not having power, I mean, the last few weeks, my husband has been stuck behind avalanches trying to get home from work. Our road we've got like 15 miles, yeah, between our home and the nearest town. That was shut down because the plow that plows it broke down and no one could get by. I had to go pick up my daughter by snowmobile from school Wednesday. My husband brought her home partway where the road was blocked, and I had to jump on a snowmobile and go down the main road to pick up my daughter from school. So, because it was getting late. It was like 6 o'clock at night and she was not feeling well. So it's been crazy, crazy, crazy. And we got another foot of snow. So I've been shoveling. We have over 6 feet of snow, and we have buildings collapsing. We have buildings disappearing. Anyway, so if I seem a bit frazzled, it's because I have not had much time at all to dedicate towards art or live streams or anything. It's just been complete like survival and working like crazy to get everything taken care of here on the home front and keep the lights on. All right, so I really look forward to spending this time with you guys and taking a little break. Yeah, Earthborn Graphics, the plow is usually really regular, and I've not had to pick somebody up on a kid from school on snowmobile for a while. I was in search and rescue for a long time and did a lot of snowmobile rescue missions, but this is different. Anyway, you're supposed to be able to get home, you know. All right, guys, enough of the craziness of the week. Okay, so Life Trip has a question. If you want to make a painting or a figure of a dead famous artist or an anime, do you have to pay the copyright price if you want to sell it? excuse me, first of all, Life Trip, I am not a copyright lawyer. Disclaimer there. You can do whatever you want and make it, sell it, give it away. But if it is copyrighted, you do run the risk of being in copyright infringement, and there could be penalties. I don't think that there's usually a copyright price that you can pay in order to reproduce someone else's artwork. Now, if you're talking about famous artists that are long gone, who owns the copyright? I don't know. So you're going to have to go online. You're going to have to research that and find that out for yourself. It depends on what picture you're trying to create. There are so many things that you really have to kind of pay attention to on that. That is a very good question. I'm not really the person to be qualified to answer that. I would say always err on the side of caution when it comes to copyright, and assume that the copyright is owned by someone, and that you need to be careful where you get your pictures and your references. I hope that makes sense. If you create an artistic derivative, however you want to say it, of another person's work or photo or statue, it can fall under copyright infringement. So be careful with that. Hope that answers your question. Probably not the one you wanted to hear, but I hope that helps. You can always ask like a current artist if you can make an artistic derivative of their art and get permission. In writing. I would get it in writing. Okay, so moving on, guys. I'm going to get caught up here. Hi, Dennis. Yeah, guys. Yeah, Mina, it has been the craziest 2 weeks. Like, beyond crazy. Okay. Steve, don't they close school because of snow? No, because we are 3,500 feet higher than the school. So, you leave the school and you just go up for another 3,500 feet. We're at 9,000 feet. The school's at like 5,400 feet. Okay. Yeah, Life Trip, again, I don't know. Life Trip is asking about Marilyn Monroe, Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley, and if I'm going to pay, do I have to pay the sponsors, his families, or the company that bought this brand? Great question. You're going to have to go on to YouTube University or Google that. I am not the person to ask. I'm really sorry. I would always assume that everything is copyrighted and to be careful. Okay, so are we ready to go tonight with part 2 of our dolphin? Okay. So, last week we got a great start. We're burning on cherry for those people that are just starting and just joining us. We have a dolphin jumping out of the waves. I am using a combination of the Walnut Hollow Creative Versatool with the shading point that comes with the kit. Hello, Terry. And then I'm also using this modified point that was a normal shading point, and I have taken a Dremel tool to it and completely reshaped it. We're calling this the Pro Point, and we are I'm currently working with Walnut Hollow to try to get mass production of this little guy. So anyway, this burns much hotter than the other one, but we'll kind of go back and forth and use both where I need it. I'll probably do the majority of this with the normal shader point because it's a little bit more lower temp. Hi, Rich. Hi, Barbara. Hello, Cheryl. Hi, Deb. Yeah, I've not had a good week. You can watch the beginning of the live stream for all the craziness, but it's been crazy. It's been a crazy, like 11 days or something. Hi, Terry. Alrighty. Hi, Tracy. Okay. So do we have any questions as far as where we left off last week or anything? Let me know. I think I'm probably going to finish up the dolphin's body before I get into the waves tonight. So I think I will try to zoom in a tad. And if I sound a little bit weird, I think I'm getting my daughter's cold. We have been, this is our third cold in like a month. So not fun. Because, yeah, I had to cancel the live stream like 2 weeks ago because we were sick. Yeah, we were sick before that, and now we're sick again. So, frustrating. Oh, Terry, you were burning. Awesome. That's great. I think I have the time set properly now on the live stream. It's just crazy. Yeah, Terry, it's back to back. Like 3 colds back to back to back. Okay. Thanks, Barbara. Yeah, it's life, but it seems like it's all hitting at once. Yeah. Hopefully it'll let up a little bit. Hopefully it'll quit snowing. This is our biggest snow record for a very, very long time. Our snow piles where we have to clear the road they're like 9 and 10 feet tall. It's 6 feet on the level. We have a 6-foot building that has disappeared. It's gone. It's under the snow. All right, so I'm going to be using the standard shader for right now and just working on some of these darker sections in here, and we'll kind of go like make a little outline, light outline up and around the waves. And kind of get this going here. Okay, yes, it is a lot of snow, Barbara. We usually, on a good year, we usually get like maybe 4 feet of snow on the level. A little bit less where the ground is facing the sun, more in the shade. So if we have 6 feet of snow on the level, we have probably 8 to 10 feet of snow on the shady side of the mountains and the trees. And Rich has 85 degrees. Oh my gosh. See, that's what I'm afraid of, is that we're going to have all this snow and then it turns hot and everything melts and everything floods. At 9,000 feet, we're okay from flooding because we're up on a ridge, but everything below us could have a hard time with the flooding. I am so excited to see the ground, to see something other than white. Like, seriously, our house is built 4 feet up off the ground because we're up here. And our windows, you look out and there's just a wall of snow. You can't see anything. Okay, so I've kind of outlined that a little bit, and we're just going to work around these edges. Now, I don't think I'm going to finish in time to add color tonight, and honestly, all my color is downstairs that I have to shovel a pathway to get to, and so we will make like a big color project tutorial next week where we'll add color to this, and I don't know, maybe see about adding color to another project or something. We'll see how much time we have. So Tracy, you didn't get any snow? If you don't mind, where are you located, Tracy? Barbara says Idaho has gotten a lot more snow this winter too, more than Jackson. I wondered about Jackson as far as how much snow they've gotten this year. Yeah, Rich doesn't miss one snowflake. Oh, Tracy, you're in Pennsylvania. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but this year has definitely been the biggest snow year in the last 10 years that I know of. Thanks, Mina. Yeah, it's been a lot of snow, and having to power the house with a generator is a bit of an inconvenience, although we're doing okay. And it's just exhausting. we're really, yeah, and being sick, Terry. We're really tired of snow. I love snow, and I don't mind shoveling because I would rather shovel in this the winter than burn in the summer because of wildfires. But I'm tired of it. I'm done. It's time to turn off the snow machine. So as we talked about last week, this cherry burns so much darker. It burns darker more quickly than basswood. And it has such a reddish color. It's quite interesting. Smells different too. Smells nice. So I hope everybody else is having a very good spring. So this is spring break for my kids, and yeah, it's just nothing but snow. Everybody else is going someplace nice and warm, but we have too many responsibilities here to leave, especially in the winter. It's just like there's no way. And in the summer, there's bears trying to get in, so it's been a long time since we've been on a vacation. But that's just kind of the way it is. So a little bit lighter values up here to kind of catch some of the light coming off of the Dolphin. And if you still see this outline here, like you can on mine, you can just blend that out a little bit by darkening the darker areas until that that border kind of disappears. Thanks, Barbara. Yeah, it'd be easy to just not do the live streams, but they're wonderful, and I need a break. I need a break from like everything else. So Barbara, your niece lives in Colorado? Wow. First time she's ever complained about the weather. Yeah, usually it's wonderful. It's usually too dry, and this year it's like going clear the other way. Tracy, my dog, does too. We have like literal tunnels that we walk through, that we shovel out to get from place to place, and my dog, she just leans sideways into the snowbank and just plows along. She loves the snow, which is good because there's lots of it. So Cheryl, you've gotten so much snow it's reached the top of your fence. You're waiting for the dogs to figure out they could just walk over the fence. Wow. Too much to move it. Yeah. Well, like I said, we're 15 miles from town. It's about, like in the summer, you can stretch it and get there to the nearest town in 35 minutes. But in the winter, you're looking at 45 minutes to an hour to get to the nearest town. And there's 15 miles of road that is maintained by the county. If you don't like twisty mountain roads that are really skinny and no guardrail, you wouldn't like our road to town, because that's what it is. It's just up. And they maintain that, and then we maintain another 1 or 2 miles of road ourselves, like me and my husband on the tractor with a snowblower. Fortunately, it's an enclosed cab, and you're out of the elements, but the snow is so deep we're having a hard time blowing it up and over the road, the pile. So there's just tunnels everywhere. So this section here we can make, you know, kind of a mid-tone. Those mid-tones go a little bit faster on this cherry. So Angela, you're working on a painting while you listen. Awesome. And so this is kind of a little bit of a mottled texture here with some stripes. It's pretty abstract, so don't worry too much about everything down here. So Terry says she's burning on a 4x6 piece of basswood, and it's not every day, but she's only burning about 1 to 2 inches each time. Oh wow, taking your time. That's very great. You guys are great. I love that you're working on projects as well. That's awesome, Angela. A golf ball into space is the project that you're working on from your other art teacher. That is way cool. Okay, let's just do a little bit more shading down here. I think we need to darken this up a little bit more. Oh, guys, did you realize that we are 1 day away from our 1-year anniversary of the live streams? I just looked tonight, right before the live stream, and our first live stream that we did was March 25th of last year, and it's March 24th. So congratulations, everybody. Yay for our 1-year anniversary of the live streams, which is way cool. So all of those live streams are over on Patreon. So if you are looking for a multitude of projects, live burning with questions, definitely check out Patreon, patreon.com/Minisa. But yeah, amazing, guys. I knew it was getting close to a year. I kind of, for some reason, I thought I started in April, but I thought I would check. But yeah, the end of March. So yay, very cool. So there are a lot of projects on Patreon. Hi Chris Jones, glad you can be here. March Madness, yes, we've had March Madness here too. You're welcome to watch the beginning of the video for all the craziness, you know, avalanches and snowfall and turning my snowmobile into the school bus for my kids. Crazy. I was gonna wear a party hat for the anniversary, but I just looked like 5 minutes before the stream, and there was so much snow I can't get out in our storage outside. So darn it. Next time I'll wear a party hat. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to build up a little bit more dark values on the underside of the dolphin. I think we're calling him Wrinkles, Mr. Wrinkles. You're very welcome, Cheryl. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. It was quite the learning curve to figure out how to do the live streams, but it's wonderful. And I really enjoy sharing this time with you guys, and just having that time and interaction with everybody is really, really cool. Okay, so I think this is getting dark enough down here. Okay, we're gonna scooch over. I have a little bit of work to do here on the flipper. Hold on. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see. There we go. Yeah, Dennis, 1 year has gone by quite quickly, huh? We've created a lot of different projects in that year. Okay, oh, come on. So needless to say, as far as my big new venture that I'm working on, I was wanting to try to release that out probably to the patrons first. I'm going to notify the patrons of my big project that I've been working on for quite some time now. I was going to talk to them first, give them first dibs and a sneak peek at what I've been working on. And I was trying to get that all together by the 1st of April. I'm still going to try, guys. That's a week out. If we get steady power and it stops snowing and we all get healthy, hopefully I can get caught up and make sure that I get that released to everybody. Psst, psst, psst. The cats are fighting. Anyway, so if you're not on Patreon, this is definitely the time to take a look at that, because you will get first sneak peek at what we've been working on. So, but I really want to get it out the first part of April. And it'll be an ongoing project, and I'd love to hear everybody's feedback. So, okay, so just working here on trying to finish around the flipper. So I've got my darks in here, and we're going to kind of round that out with some midtones. And I'm still on full power, full heat with the normal shading point, because it burns at a lower temp than the new Pro Point. I am scheduled to meet with Walnut Hollow. They said like in the next week or two to have like a video call and work out some of the details with the new point. So it sounds like they're pretty busy, and the new point looks like it's going to take some time, but we're working on it and it is moving forward, which is really, really fun and cool. So I'm going to kind of, now that I have my dark section and my mid-tone section, let's blend that transition there, because it's a little bit harsh, a little bit hard of a transition. So we'll kind of blend that out. Barbara, if you're burning, you're learning. I love that. I think that's great. Oh, and if I look like really sunburned, I apologize because like I said, I have been outside so much, and it's windy and cold, so I wind up wearing like a warm hat instead of a ball cap. I always wear ball caps. So I'm pretty well roasted from shoveling out in the snow, and then the sun comes out and I get baked. So sorry for the little raccoon eyes. I wish I got it, you know, doing something fun like snowmobiling or walking or outside doing fun things, but just shoveling snow. All right. Thanks, Terry. Yeah. And Barbara. I think it'll be worth the wait for the pro point as well. Like I said last week, I tried to make more of them and I couldn't like make them all the same. So it was challenging. And it takes like an hour per point to make. So I'll leave that to someone more suited to three-dimensional work. Okay, so I'm looking here to see where we need to make some modifications to the dolphin. Let's add a little bit more shading here and up here. But the dolphin is starting to look pretty good. And I think it always helps to kind of take a step back and make sure that everything is in the right place and the right value. Barbara, your skiing friends got raccoon eyes in the winter? Yeah, definitely. I always wear glasses outside, so the raccoon eyes are inevitable. Okay. All right, I think I'm going to transition from the dolphin down into the waves. So I'm going to move this over a tad for you guys to see better. Here we are. Okay, so I'm going to continue working with the normal shader. Hi TH, glad you can be here tonight. And we're just going to dive into some of these sections here. Like I normally go for the darker areas and then work my way lighter. Guys, I think this piece of cherry looks darker this week than it did last week. You know, we were talking about how cherry kind of turns different colors over time. I think it looks darker. Hello, Claire. Glad you can be here. Thank you. This is cherry wood that we're working on tonight. So cherry has more of a reddish hue and it burns a little bit darker than basswood, which is usually what I work on. Hi C-Mac, glad you can be here. But yeah, I normally work on basswood and it's much more of a blonde kind of a wood. I think I have, where'd he go? So yeah, this is basswood here, and you can see it's much lighter in color, and the values when you burn them are more of a dark brown instead of this more reddish tone. So I usually work on basswood, but this is cherry. So I think this is our first cherry project that we've done in the past year. So Tracy, it does look darker. That's what I was thinking too. Because last week it was pretty recently sanded and we were looking at the mushroom village and it was another piece of cherry that I burned a mushroom village on and it was so much darker than this one. So it does darken over time, the cherry, which is pretty interesting. So don't get too caught up about having all these things perfect here. Just really focus on it. These little dark patches are darker at the bottom, and then they're going to fade up into kind of a gradient. Thanks, guys. Yeah, the kitty is cute. That's a fun project. Thanks, Mina. Thanks, Earthborn Graphics. Thanks, Terry. Thanks, TH. So we're doing some negative space burning here, just burning these darker sections and leaving the lighter areas of the waves unburned or lightly burned. If I can see where I'm at. Some of my guidelines, I think my guidelines they're disappearing as the wood gets darker. It's kind of weird. It's much harder to see the guidelines, the transfer lines now than last week. So if you burn on cherry and have a project laid out, don't wait because your lines might fade away, which I've had a little bit of that with basswood, but not much. This one seems to be going faster. So again, darker towards the bottom, gradient up towards the top. And then up in here we have lots of little webbing, almost like froth or wave splashes. So I'm gonna really try to get some negative space in here. Huh, looks like a ghost. So Estella, that's a good question. Negative space is where you burn around something. So if you were an artist with a paintbrush, these white waves here, you would actively paint those with white paint. Because we work with wood burning, we don't have white. All we can do is make stuff darker. So negative space is where you burn around an object to create the illusion of form and depth and everything. So imagine a night sky with stars. You can't just go in and take a daub of paint and paint the stars. With wood burning, you would have to burn around each and every star, and the unburned wood would form the light area of the star. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, so oh my gosh, I got some questions here. Barbara is saying, so interesting to see how the different woods burn. Yes. Tracy is saying, how did it affect the burn over time? That's a good question. I don't think cherry is going to go so dark, like continue to get darker. I think it will stop at some point. The reason why it's getting darker over time, it seems like, is because I recently sanded it. So when you sand anything, it usually turns lighter, and then it just absorbs light and everything, and it just turns a little bit darker to, I think, a certain point. Earthborn Graphics says that cherry comes in a lot of shades, just like walnut. Great. Claire, where did I get the dolphin picture from? This is one of my creations, so it is available on Patreon, so patreon.com/Minisa, and if you sign up as a patron, it's like $10 a month, no commitment, you can sign up whenever. You get the pattern for free. So, great question. So Barbara, you were invited to enter another local exhibit, and they requested woodburn or scratchboard pieces. You were the only ones in the exhibit. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Congratulations. Mina says the dolphin looks really awesome. Looks like you're painting with red wine. Wouldn't that be interesting? That would be pretty cool. I think that would darken too. So I'm gonna kind of try to make this look less like a ghost there. It's kind of weird. So negative space, we're just adding in a few little dark sections and burning around the white or light sections. It still looks like a ghost. All right, I gotta change this up. I'm gonna like do some artistic license here and kind of change that splash. Okay, that's better. John is saying, hi John, do I put a sealant on it to make sure it doesn't fade? That is a very in-depth conversation and a little bit of a debate as far as how to keep wood burning from fading. Fading is a natural process of wood burning, and I have tried many clear coats and sealants to keep them from fading, and I almost have come to the realization that it seems to me like once I clear coat something, it makes the fading go faster, which is weird. So big debate on that one as far as how to stop the fading. I would treat it like tattoo artwork and just let your customers know that there is a very strong possibility that your artwork will fade over time, especially if it's exposed to sunshine. So any direct light, you need to really tell your clients, keep it away from direct light, but know that it can fade over time. One good thing about leaving, hi Cynthia. Yeah, John. One good thing about leaving your artwork unfinished and unsealed is that you can go back and touch it up and reburn certain areas for your client, as long as there's not been any color or other additives added to the wood burning. If it's just pure wood burning on unfinished wood, no clear coats, no color, you can go back and reburn it for a customer if you want to. But once you clear coat it, there's no going back. Even if you sand off that clear coating, I think it still soaks into the wood, and I would not want to breathe those fumes. But very good question. I wish I had a magic answer or a magic solution to solve the fading aspect, but it's just kind of one of those things that seems to be quite natural for the artwork. But on the other hand, there is wood burning artwork, like poker work is what they used to call it, that is from like the 1800s or earlier, where the artwork is still intact. So it is possible for your art to last, but maybe they had some other knowledge or secrets that we don't know now, or that were lost to time. But wood burning or poker work has been around for a long time, so quite cool. Thanks, Barbara. Earthborn Graphics says oxidation changes the color of a lot of woods, sometimes drastically. Yes. When we first started building or trying to build a life up on this mountain, we had a sawmill loaned from a family member, and we cut down trees, dead trees, and put them on the sawmill, and we were gonna stick build our own home, and it just got too big of a project. But anyway, we still have a ton of wood from our sawmill, whether we milled aspen, we milled Doug fir, we milled Engelmann spruce, all kinds of wood. And it's so interesting to see those as they age over time. We still build with them with our other projects here at the mountain house, but they change. They change so much. It's really very interesting to see how the wood changes over time. Whether it's exposed to water or sunshine or both, or we keep them stacked and stickered. You put little pieces in between so they don't rot. And we've had like 10 years or more that we've, probably more, 15 years that we've had these piles, and you pull down stacks and you look inside and they look almost exactly like they were when they were milled. But anything that's exposed to air, more air, or sunshine, they change color drastically. I might have to turn the temperature down on this to get some of these lighter values in here. CMAX says, I wonder if sealing it traps the natural process of releasing oils and gases, etc., which would affect the burning. That's a good point. Once you clear coat the wood, it is no longer able to breathe. That's a very good point. Can't see. All my guidelines here are gone, so I'm just going to kind of like wing it here and do some freehanding. Yeah, there's a whole science to wood. You know something crazy that I have wanted to try for a long time and I just never have? If you guys have more time than I do, I have always wondered, if it works, let me know, please, so I can use it. After you finish a wood burning, can you apply lemon juice on it to keep it from fading? Lemon juice works on other things like potatoes or apples to keep them from browning. Somebody needs to try lemon juice. That's like a little secret that I've been keeping for so long, but I'm giving it to you guys because I haven't had time to do anything with it. So if you have a wood burning that you want to experiment with and put lemon juice on it and run a test, I'd love to see how that goes. We could like partner up and make a lemon juice clear coat business. So that was my plan, but I gave it away. So you guys run with it. It's like a little sticky note I've kept in my closet for a long time. I'm like, I gotta try this, but I never have time. So if you make $1 million, give me something. Well, yeah, Terry, they polish furniture with lemon juice too. So, I mean, I was going to create like a grid and wood burn on it and apply certain things and put it out in the sun and then put it in the closet and do all these big tests, but I haven't. So if it works, I hope the community can use it. Yeah, anybody, let me know how that works. So I'm kind of blowing on the point now because it's a bit hot for some of these lighter textures. But don't be too afraid of water because, again, it's just values and abstract shapes. So try to match the abstract shape and the value. And if it doesn't look quite right, it's okay. It's water. Yes, Earthborn Graphics, that's a great point. Earthborn Graphics says that sealants themselves either darken or yellow most woods, so it's probably not fading from the sealants, but matching of the darkening wood to the lighter values. Yes, I have noticed that as well, because whenever you clear coat something, it darkens the wood, like you say. And so a lot of these nice light areas are gone because it kind of, the clear coat kind of like equalizes the value of the wood. Yeah, Tracy. I don't know what sealant to put on it either. So if you just leave it unsealed and you make a note and let them know, keep it away from sunlight. And then if it's completely unsealed and no color, that maybe as a perk or that's not the right word, but anyway, you could touch that up for your client in the future if they need it. So that dolphin went together pretty quickly. These waves are going to take a little bit more time here. Okay, I'm going to try to stick to the darker values right now. Terry, I would go with like the bottle constant. Yeah, the liquid lemon juice that you get in the bottle. I would try that and just see. And that's the thing about this test with lemon juice. It takes time for these things to fade. So I would suggest if anybody wants to try the lemon juice thing, take the same kind of wood and create different test pieces. I would burn a gradient on them from dark to light to test the values and do like several different pieces. Do one that stays unfinished and keep it like in a closet. Do another one that stays unfinished and put it in the sunlight. And then do another one that has the lemon juice and put it in a closet. Another one with lemon juice and put it in the sun. And just kind of really go all out on that test and see what works best. Because you have to have some sort of like a measurement to see, you know, the whole scientific method thing. Anyway. Yeah, Barbara, liquid lemon juice. You're welcome, Tracy. Barbara says, Barbara always includes a note with your pieces to the client letting know that hanging any art in sunlight, it can fade. Yep. Papers, sticky notes, paintings, you name it, it will all fade in the sunlight. But I would love to see everybody's test results from that. And maybe I'll do the same thing. I just will bite the bullet and look into that. But if lemon juice prevents the oxidization of fruit, which is a living unit, and wood is a living or was a living unit, maybe that would work. Okay, I'm just adding a little bit more shading down on the shadow side of this wave. Okay. All right, I think I'm going to start developing a little bit more of this area in here. I love it, guys. Earthborn Graphics says it's a science fair project, and Mina says it's due next Friday. Absolutely. Yeah, Barbara, if you guys want to test it, that would be great. And just see what we can do, because I know fading has been the nemesis of wood burning. It's a wonderful art, and I know we've lost a lot of great artists over the years because of the fading aspect. Which is interesting because people buy tattoos all the time knowing that they're going to fade over time. So I think if you're just transparent with people and let them know that fading is an issue, then I think it's good transparency. Hey, what if you put lemon juice on tattoos? Maybe they wouldn't fade either. Oh my gosh. That would be funny. I don't have any tattoos, so I can't test that one either. Sorry, guys. And I'm allergic to lemons, so I'll have to pass on that one. Okay, so Terry says the one that you screwed up on that you sent me, you're not going to work on it anymore, so you'll try the lemon juice on it and let you know. Living in Florida, there's lots of sunshine. Awesome. Yeah, take pictures like before and after and kind of log it. I think that would be very beneficial and hopefully help a lot of artists. So where are we? Oh my gosh, we're already at 7 o'clock. It's been an hour, guys. Earthborn Graphics, I'm allergic to all fresh fruits and vegetables, so lemon is just in with the lot of them. Cooked lemon, I can have. I can have cooked anything, but fresh, it does me in. So Barbara, that's a good point. Barbara says that even her 100% light fast colored pencils say under museum conditions. Yeah, all art will fade in the sun. So you just really have to protect it from the sunshine. But wood is a little bit different. It tends to kind of go, it changes more than we would like. And I think it would be great to have a remedy for that. Look how light this value is, even on high heat with the normal shading point. Just for those of you that haven't seen the Pro Point, watch how much darker these values will get. Same temperature, just a smaller point. Look at that. I mean, I have to move the point very quickly to keep it from getting too dark. I'm really excited. Walnut Hollow has gotten back with me, and they're very excited about the collaboration, and I think it's going to be a real game changer for the people that use the Walnut Hollow Versatool to be able to burn a little bit hotter, a little bit darker, a little bit faster. But it's just going to take some time, which I wish it would happen faster, but here we are. So, okay, so since we're already an hour into this, I'm going to probably start working on some of the background there. Thanks, Cynthia. Yeah, like I say, I wish I could just make points for everybody and sell them, but I can't get the same one twice. I'm definitely not a three-dimensional artist. And I made 4 or 5 of them, and they are all different. So we'll try to do this by the book and make a great point for everybody. It's just going to take a little bit more time. Yes, Mina, they are very excited about the Pro Point and want to talk about a mutually beneficial arrangement and how to move forward. But it's going to take a little bit of time. Okay, guys. I'm going to take just a really quick, 2-minute break, and I will be right back. If you guys need to grab a drink or anything, go ahead and do that. I got to check some stuff on the stove, and then I will be right back. Okay? Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for that break. I've got a giant pot of chili on the stove. And I just wanted to make sure that everything was okay with that. Thanks, guys. Okay. Let's see. Terry is asking, will I get a kickback on the points when you purchase them? I hope so too. That's kind of where we're at right now, is seeing how to move forward with a mutually beneficial situation. So they sound very supportive, very cooperative, and really wonderful to work with. So, yeah. The Walnut Hollow Creative Versatool is a great intro burner for so many people, but I think it does have some limitations, especially as far as the temperature range. So I'm hoping that the new Pro Point will solve that problem and allow you to create realistic, professional wood burnings with the same Walnut Hollow Creative Versatool without having to buy a new tool and just change the point, buy a new point. So anyway, yeah, we love Cherry too. We're gonna have a work party tomorrow to install our new inverter so we can get power, and so I'm making chili for dinner tonight and lunch tomorrow, so it's a double batch. All right, thanks guys. Steve, dinner is on the stove, so anybody can eat whenever. We usually do pizza on Friday nights, but I've not been to town and I'm out of pizza. Okay, so I'm going to start working on probably this splash portion up here, because if I start burning around this sun, I might forget about that splash and I'll just burn right through it, and I don't want to do that. So we're going to work upside down for a bit. Yeah, guys, I agree that the Versatool is such a great burner, and it's what I've used for like all of my projects. All of my realistic, high realism projects have been with the Versatool and the shading point. It just takes a little bit of time because it operates at a lower temp. So I know there's an army of you wonderful people that will be very excited to get the Pro Point. It's just going to take a little while. Okay, so I'm going to be working again on this negative space, burning around the white areas here to kind of block that in, and then we'll go around the sun and add some of that cool little gradient in there. Thanks, guys. All right. So we're going to try to keep this on the lighter side of an outline, which is not working very well right now. So I'm going to turn this down a tad. So we're going to turn this down to where the orange meets the red. And I just use electrical tape to hold that dial in place. I've tried multiple tapes over the years, and electrical tape seems to last the longest. And it just keeps that from kind of, yeah, adjusting. I know you guys have had the same thing where you're trying to burn and all of a sudden it's like, this isn't hot enough, and you look at your dial and it shifted. So I'm still blowing on the point to help cool it down a little bit. And then we have a few little like water splash pieces here, so I'll put those in as well. So you guys remember I did many years ago, I did a wood burning of a kingfisher coming up out of the water with a fish, and there's water droplets everywhere, and I had the crazy idea to burn that with a black background, and so I had to burn around each and every little water droplet. That's basically what we're going to do here. I know it's a little bit small right now. I won't burn around those right now. I'll continue to do the outline and then we'll come back to that. But that is a great example of negative space where you have to burn around something. Thanks, Barbara. I like the design too. Thanks, everybody. So Barbara had a problem with the dial catching on the edge of the table, but you solved it with electrical tape. I usually like hang on to the dial because it's always getting caught on stuff. Terry, absolutely. The Versatool hurts my wrist too because of this extreme angle. The new Pro Point takes care of that. So let me get those in the right area. There, now you can see. Look at the difference of angle on these. This one is almost completely straight, just a tiny bit of a rock up on that. So that's another reason I'm really encouraging them, Walnut Hollow, to make the Pro Point, is because it is so much easier to work with. It's much more ergonomically comfortable. So I can't hardly see my lines here. Me too, Barbara. I'm really looking forward to the Pro Point as well to get everybody one. Barbara is right. The elevated easel, working on an elevated surface, can help. Using something to prop up your wrist also really helps. But still, you have to really rock that up. And dealing with this beanbag to always kind of get in the right position takes more time. So my point is still a little bit hot, but Cherry burns so dark. Hi, how are you? This is Sophie. Hello, Sophie. Here is Sophie. Hi, what you doing? Are you being good? Yeah, you're always good, aren't you? Yep. Alrighty. Little intermission there for the dog lovers. I know. You have to lay down though. I can't pet you right now. Okay, I'm just going to kind of keep working along here. And anytime I burn lines, I usually create them in shorter sections. And I can't see my line again. Looks like we're getting a little bit of buffering, possibly. Yeah, Terry, I'm getting some buffering too. Okay, hang in there with me, guys. Barbara, yes, it is funny how we get so many points when we first start learning, but rapidly come down to our favorites. Yeah, so I have this big bin of points for the razor tip, and it's like I got a lot of them because I didn't know what I might want or what might work best, but I like hardly ever use these. But Razor Tip is a wonderful company and product, so don't misplace that. I just prefer the Versatool personally. So she is such a good girl. She's right here. Yes, you are. She's always underfoot. She's such a sweetheart. So just burning a nice kind of a light border around our sun. Okay. This is really fun, guys. I loved this design, and one of the reasons I put it on cherry was because of the shape. I love the circle shape on this one. Okay, so let's work on kind of burning around that sun to create the sky effect. Just seeing how I want to do that. Okay, I'm going to go this way, I think. Oh, thank you, Will. So the lag might be due to the son that loves doing downloads while I do my live streams. Get him, Will. We have Starlink, which is amazing. I could not do these live streams without Starlink. But when you have teenage boys that are trying to download a big game, it buffers. So my apologies. Thanks, Will. Larry, that's great about your dog. That's awesome. Very cool. Alrighty, guys. How are we? I think we're going to keep going here. Okay. Alright, buffering is not bad now. So I'm just going to do a little bit of soft shading for the sky here. There are a few clouds. You can add those in if you want, or just burn around the sun. Because the illusion of the sun is created by burning something dark behind that. You remember, dark things push back, light things pull forward. So if you're looking for layering, just keep that little tidbit in the back of your head. Dark things push back, light things pull forward. And so you can create that illusion of depth with that little trick. With sceneries, it's backwards. So we've talked about that a little bit on some of the live streams. So I'm not going to complicate that right now. But generally, dark things push backwards, light things pull forwards. And this does tend to kind of gum up the point, I think a little bit more than basswood. Okay, I'm going to darken this up just a little bit more behind the sun. And then I might put in a little cloud right here. So clouds are very similar. I guess, how do I say this? Clouds need to have a lot of soft edges. Everything with it, at least these kind of clouds, have very, very soft edges. When you have a strong light source, then you'll talk about burning some more hard edges. But right now everything is usually pretty soft. Thanks, Terry. Barbara is asking, if you're going to add color to this one, will you add some splash bubble similar to snow spatter? That is a great idea, and I think that would be very helpful. So instead of burning around the splash marks individually, you could just add them on top of the wood burning with some opaque acrylic paint. And we can do that. So next week I will get all set up. I'll excavate to the downstairs again, and I'll get all of my acrylic paints set up, and we'll just do a nice big color tutorial, probably just on acrylic paint next week. And we'll add acrylic paint to this one. And I'm going to be adding colors I don't usually do, like blues and some cool colors. So you guys can watch and see if it turns out really cool, or if I kind of like ruin it. So it might save you some time and trouble as to whether or not you should add color to a project like this, but it'll be fun. I always like adding color. It's one of my favorite things to do. I know I've gotten a lot of grief over the years from people talking about how they're like pyrography purists, and pyrography should be wood burning only, no color. And I've caught a lot of grief for that over the years. But I always just try to, you know, be respectful of other people's opinions. And, you know, if you don't want to add color to your projects, that's great. If you like adding color to your projects, that's great. I think that it's your artwork, and that's what I, you know, politely tell people. You know, I thank you for your opinion, but honestly, this is my art, and I can make it however I want. So for people to tell you guys how you should or should not create your wood burnings, I think is kind of out of line on their part. You create what you like to create the way you want to create it. So that is my point on the pyro purists. Certain projects I do not add color to. Certain projects I make them because I plan on adding color, because I just have to add color to them. So I think it totally depends on your subject. Portraits I usually don't add color to, maybe some white highlights, and that's about it. But flowers, birds, you know, anything with those really neat colors, I have to add color. I just love it. So stay true to what you like and create art the way you want to, instead of how everybody thinks you should. Yeah. So Barbara, you say you get the same thing with scratchboard, but the few pieces you add color to are always popular. I agree. I usually sell a lot of the colored ones because people that don't really know much about wood burning, all they see is just a pretty picture, and they like it and they buy it. So you guys just stick to your gut on that one. So I'm just creating kind of some wispy lines here to create the illusion of clouds. Yeah, Barbara. Barbara says that's a good answer. She calls that unsolicited critique. Yeah. Some people just can't help it. They have to add their 2 cents or force their beliefs on you. Either way. Take it with a grain of salt. Do what you want to do. Make the art the way you want to make it. And the haters and the trolls can just go away. Just deal with it. So, but I've always tried to be really supportive of new artists. That some people just get like attacked almost because they do something different. Now, I'm not talking safety different. Everybody needs to correct people on safety issues. Don't burn over color, that sort of thing. But I don't know what is wrong with society sometimes, that people just jump on other people and say mean things, and I don't agree with that. If someone attacks me for some reason, I usually try to treat them with kindness and respect and share my point of view and just respect them for having their opinion and move on, because I think there's too much meanness in the world. Anyway, there's my soapbox. Sorry, guys. I don't like mean people. Mean people suck. So I try to support people. It's a better world for that. So this is almost a little bit of a gradient here as well, as I'm burning darker next to the sun and then kind of fading out as I get away. If you want, you can go back and kind of darken that up and make the sun pop a little bit more. I have a feeling that when we add color, we'll probably add some white here with a gradient downward. So that'll really pop forward as well. But adding a little bit darker value behind here will also help to bring the sun forward and push the sky backwards. I agree, Larry. It's your own creation. Disregard the purists. Angela, you finished your sunflower and your butterfly. Awesome. Gotcha. Yes. If you are on Patreon, there is actually a membership page on there, which I just found out recently. People have been posting stuff and I didn't even know that it was there. So if you're on Patreon, there's like tabs partway down through the page, and it says, like, I think posts and then membership. Angela, does it say membership or community? I think it's membership. Anyway, so you can post it there on Patreon, or you can go to Facebook, Minisa Robinson's Patreon group. I have a Facebook group as well, so for the patrons. Mina, if you can find that link for the Facebook group and you want to put that up in here. Good night, Cynthia. That would be great. If not, that's okay too. But we have a Facebook group for the patrons and you can post your work there, ask questions. I have not been on there very much in the last 2 weeks because of power, but I'll try to do better. So Terry says you're the opposite, that you're working in graphite and you always hear, aren't you going to add color to that? Or, oh, you're drawing another dog. That's great though. Yes, you do what you want to do. It's totally your artwork. Thanks, TH. Thanks, Barbara. Yeah, TH, mean people suck. Just be nice and move on. Larry says our society today is marked by a definite lack of civility. I agree. And we can't change the world, but we can certainly be nice to people. And I think that changes their world. Mina, yes, together we can make it better. I agree. Good night, Beverly. Oh, Cynthia. Good night. Okay. Beverly has a question saying, I bought some 12x8 basswood. It's great for burning, but it's 1/8 inch thick. What can I do when finished to make it look like a piece of art? You could frame it, Beverly, with a custom frame. That's a good question. Yeah, Barbara, move on. Just be nice to people and move on. That's all we can do. Okay, awesome, guys. Trying to get caught up here. Barbara says to add an owl in flight in front of the moon. Sounds great. Okay. Angela says that on the Patreon page, it's under the community tab. So if you are on Patreon, take a look at that and look at the normal page where it says posts, and then there's another tab that says community, and you can post artwork there and ask me questions individually, and I try to get to those now that I know that it's there, and respond back, guys. Oh, Mina put in the Facebook group. Thank you, Mina. Awesome. So if you are a patron on Patreon, you are allowed to join that Facebook group. It makes me so sad that people try to join that group because they know me or, they're fellow pyros, and I have to decline them, which makes me really sad. But I always send them a message and say, hey, you have to be on Patreon, because I have to verify each person before they can get into that group. It's just a perk of Patreon. But okay, I'm gonna try to get this finished up here. And thank you, everyone, for your patience as far as working with me on the live streams. I'm a one-man band at this point. I read the chat, I keep track of everything, and I try to teach too. So I try to make sure that you guys get enough teaching in. And then I also want to make this a community. I don't want it just to be like me droning on for 2 hours about technical stuff. I like to make the live streams a little bit more personal than that, so that we can talk about, our dogs and the weather and everything like that. So I hope that you guys like that, because that's kind of the way it is. Because these live streams, I think, are more important than just a step-by-step tutorial. I like creating the community aspect and the direct feedback, and it does take time, away from the burning to get back with people. But I think that makes getting back with people and talking directly is, I think, the gold of the live streams, and something that you can't get with normal tutorials. So let me know, guys, if you agree with that, or if you want me to focus more on teaching. I know a lot of you guys have been here for the past year and have a lot of experience with wood burning. And so for me to kind of make this more of a beginner course, I don't know. I think maybe you guys might get bored. So, but feedback is great. I love your guys' feedback. Let me know if you like the way the live streams are going, with the chatting and the very kind of more personal feel instead of a tutorial feel. Just let me know what you think. Because, this is for you guys. So whatever works best for you all is what's most important. So as you can see, I'm not quite following the reference photo. I'm kind of doing my own thing here a little bit. And that's totally fine. I just want to get that nice definition of the sun against the sky. And cherry burns dark, and it's hard to manage. So I tend to make something dark, and then I just keep kind of darkening it up. Okay, so I might, looking at it sideways here, I'll give you guys that idea as well. So I think I'm going to probably work around that edge and make it just a little bit darker along this side here. And we'll keep kind of working on that. Okay. TH says, yes, it's a one-woman show. Thanks. Mina, thank you. Barbara, awesome. You'll try to frame your project. Good. Okay. TH says, I do a great job and it helps that I answer questions. Very good. Rich says, thank you for the past year of sharing your skills, creativity, and encouragement. I believe most of your Friday live streamers have greatly benefited from each episode. Thank you, Rich, and happy anniversary. Thanks, Beverly. Okay, awesome, Barbara. Earthborn Graphics, it's a nice way for you to wind down each week. Wonderful. Okay, great. Yeah, Lisa Reardon is Rich. That's Rich. Okay, Terry, you love the live streams for that reason. Art, Pyro family, and chatting about our lives. Perfect. Okay, because sometimes I feel that I chat too much about just stuff and not like, okay, burn here, use a level 5. I don't know. I want to make it more personal than technical. So I guess if you don't like it, I do have tutorials. So if you like just the tutorial, very, you know, burn here, do this, I have tutorials for that too. But these live streams I think are so interactive and fun that I can't help but share with you guys, and I love hearing how your lives are going, and it's just really a wonderful community that we're developing here. Angela, you love Friday nights. Awesome. Thanks. Cynthia, thank you. I'll keep doing the live streams as we've been doing them. Okay. Mina, thank you so much. Awesome. Okay. Thanks, Barbara. Thanks, Terry. Thanks, Mina. Thanks, Beverly. Awesome, guys. Okay, well, I'll just keep it as we are. I try to mix in the teaching, but I don't want it to be like too bland. You know, it's like the school teacher that reads from the textbooks in the monotone voice. They're giving information, but it's too dry, so I try to keep things a little bit more lively, and the dog is snoring, so if you hear snoring, it's not me, and it's, anyway, it's the dog. All right, guys. Hang on here. Come with me for a minute, as long as I don't burn my cord. She is out. No, wrong way. She's out and she's snoring. All right. She is our cream-filled Twinkie. She looks like a Twinkie. She's a little chicken. She's big, but she's a little chicken. We call her a Twinkie. All right. All right, let's keep going here and try to get this done. Her face is all mushed and she's snoring. All right, so I'm gonna kind of darken up along this edge a little bit more. I like these wispy clouds because they're very easy to create. I don't know if you guys can hear her snoring. Thanks, Terry. Rich says that it's conversational and relaxing, like we're all sitting together and burning. I agree, and that's what I really want. I think that that's great. That's what I would like to create. I know I've talked about creating, was it a Zoom meetings, like Zoom calls where we all kind of sit together and do burnings together. I haven't quite got there yet as far as the Zoom in order to do a Zoom meeting more than 40 minutes, it's like really expensive. So anyway, I'm still looking into the Zoom calls and the Zoom meetings to see how we can incorporate that to where you can actually see other people on camera, like we're all, like Rich says, all sitting around together and just burning and having a nice time. So that's definitely on my list to create. I think that would be really cool. I always thought it would be neat to have like a conference, like a pyro conference or like a convention in person, but we're all so far across the country or the world that it makes that pretty difficult. So thank you everybody for your input on how we're doing the live streams, and I'll just keep doing that because I love it. I really like the interaction, and like you say, it's a pyro family and a community. So we'll just keep doing as we're doing. Okay, so now we're starting to create that nice definition of the sun. Now let's start to maybe work on some of these little tidbits here. I'm probably going to work on them upside down, guys, just because I'm right-handed and the darker area is over here. Let me reposition a little bit. So I thought that I would get this done and have like time to spare, and here we are, and I'm still not done. So I don't usually like putting tape on the surface of the wood, but I might mess this up with color, so it doesn't really matter as long as you guys can see. So Barbara says that Zoom calls can be hard to see the details. I think there's a way for me to do a big screen, like whatever, you know, if you guys want to watch what I'm doing, I can do a big screen, and then everybody else has little projects around the side, just so that you can like see each other if you want. You can put a camera on your artwork if you don't want to be on camera. That's totally fine. Terry says you like it like this, makes it kind of a mystery of who the people are you're chatting with. Yeah. I know a lot of people, they don't like being on camera, and that's totally fine and understandable. It's kind of scary to put yourself out there. So your camera could be on your artwork or yourself, either way. I know that the Burn Club with Rachel Strauss, they do like, I think, a monthly get together or something where they do something like a big group burn, which I think is pretty cool. So I'm trying to burn around these little dots here, water splashes. So I'll burn around some, and then I will also do some paint to create those. Barbara, you guys can hear her snoring. Yeah, she's out. Oh, that's great. Awesome, guys. Just checking up on the chat. Earthborn Graphics says, and you're so buried in snow, we'd have to have a conference at the airport. Yep. It would definitely have to be like a summertime conference. I actually had a wonderful couple drive up to our house in the summertime to meet and just kind of visit and all that. Apparently the wife was in the passenger seat, and she about had a panic attack getting up to our house because they come from like flat territory, and like I say, our road is really scary, sketchy. There's no guardrails, there's switchbacks, and that's the main road that we go to and from town on. Anyway, she was not doing well when they got up here, and she was very stressed and very scared as far as traveling our road. So yeah, kind of have to be careful what time of the year I would have people up here. I've also had friends get lost up here and they took different roads that are much, much worse. And they almost got stuck and went over a hillside. It was bad. So we would probably have the convention like in town. Keep people safe. Yeah, Barbara, that's a good point. Barbara says, plus I want to keep an eye on the chat and watch me. It would be too hard for Barbara to keep up and do your own work at the same time. Yeah. The multitasking thing is a bit of a challenge. And so you can see we do have a little bit of a gradient here in the background where it gets darker here and then it comes up and it gets lighter and then it gets darker as we go behind the cloud. You can kind of adjust that how you see fit. Yeah, TH, they are scary roads. You get used to them driving, but I would still rather drive than be a passenger. Because if you're a passenger, you like see over the edge of the road. Larry says, I knew a banker once on a hunting trip in Colorado. We were driving up a road. He got so scared he got out of the truck and walked. Okay, so Larry, I have to tell you a story about that topic. When I was a little girl, I was 5 or maybe 6, and my family owned property with roads that they made with a dozer, and they were big enough for an ATV, and that was it. And I was traveling with my grandfather. He was on the ATV and I was on the back. And I used to always take a bungee cord and bungee myself to the ATV, just, you know, like it was a seatbelt. Thank God I didn't that time, because we hit a hole on one side and a bump on the other side, and it flipped the ATV off the hill. I mean, hill like this. And I got tossed off. The ATV landed on me, broke my collarbone. The foot peg where you put your feet, it hit my face. Anyway, and the ATV tumbled down this hill so far and so fast that it was shearing off oak trees, like about that big. And anyway, ever since then, I have been terrified of anything tippy or steep, bad roads. Terrified. And so my family sold that place and bought another place with even worse roads, and that's where we kind of live on now. And as a little kid, we were taking a Jeep on an ATV trail with that same thing, and I actually jumped out of the window of a moving Jeep and then ran all the way down to the parking lot where it was flat. I just terrified. And so ever since then, I don't like anything tippy. It's taken a lot of time to get used to the roads. Up here, I'm much better as a driver than a passenger. But I seriously, I ran for my life. It was like what was it? I'm trying to think. It always seems like a long time when you're little. It was probably at least a half a mile that I ran, because there was another really bad section of road that I didn't want to ride on. And I thought my parents were going to be so mad. But I didn't care. I was so scared. I just ran for my life. So I avoid tippy things. Never done very well with a dirt bike because it's too tippy. Anyway, your story about the guy that just got out of the truck and walked totally reminded me of that. I will. Yeah, I'll just get off. I'm not going to go through that. Very scary. Mina, yes, oxygen is very different up in the mountains as well. Angela, it sounds like where you grew up. Yep. Barbara, you'd love to see my place. I do have some photos on Facebook, as far as our area. I had to put those on Patreon. I think I'll do that. We have some, I have some great like sunset photos and scenery photos. I'll tell you what, I'll start putting some of those photos on Patreon, and you guys can use them for your artwork if you want to too. And that'll be totally fine. I have some panorama photos that I took of our snow piles. I'll put those on online Patreon for sure as well. Yeah. So Earthborn Graphics says I need a ski lift to my house. I would love either a helicopter, drone, or what is it, a zip line? You die on a zip line though. It's like 3,000 foot drop. See, we're getting off topic here. Yeah, Teton Pass is kind of scary. You know what's even worse is Red Mountain Pass in Colorado. No guardrails. We went through that over Red Mountain Pass in a snowstorm. You couldn't even see like the road. You had to like watch the white line. It was terrifying. Colorado is a scary place, but it's home. We love it. So Mina says we went last year to Estes Park and our host had oxygen tanks and told us to use it if you felt lightheaded. Wow, yeah. Estes Park, it's beautiful there. I love Estes Park. Yeah, if you're not used to the elevation, it can definitely cause problems. Got to be careful. Give yourself time to adjust. Mm-hmm. Yeah, guys, it was a very traumatizing thing for a little 5-6-year-old to go off the hill. It happened really fast. You know, I remember everything, but they tried to carry me out on a stretcher, and we didn't know that my collarbone was broken, so it hurt worse. So I just walked out the rest of the way, and then we went to it was like 3 or 4 hours to get to the hospital after my ATV crashed because we were so far up in the mountains. Terry says, was this before the snowmobile that hit you in the face? Yes. So the ATV thing was when I was like 5 or 6. My mom ran me over with a snowmobile when I was 18. And the next year I got hit in the face with another snowmobile. I got hit with 2 snowmobiles within 2 years. Anyway, I'm kind of accident prone. So anyway. Crazy. Yep. And that road that I jumped out of the car on and ran down to the parking lot, we travel that all the time now. I drive, but I drive an ATV. It's barely big enough for an ATV now, but we're still on that same property, and I travel those hills, and I have conquered my fear, and it's fine. But for a little kid, it was scary. Okay, so I'm going to try to fill in this section here. We have about 10 years. So Larry says that when you were little, you went to the beach, you got separated from your mom and lost on the beach. Oh dear. Wow. That's amazing. That would be very scary to be lost at the beach. Okay, so we have like 10 minutes here before the end of the live stream. Do you guys have any questions? Anything that I can help out with? Anything that you want to talk about? Like I said, I'm going to try to finish in this section here. I really hoped that we could have finished this. I thought we would have finished it, but I guess I'm just a bit chatty tonight. But I will make sure that I have all of my paints together and all of my supplies ready to go. So next week we will do a big tutorial on how to add acrylic paint to a wood burning. And I'll try to get some other projects available too, so that we can do more than just cherry if we have time. So that's my goal. So as I'm coming down here, I'm going to slow down. And create just a little bit darker values here. I hope you guys are still here. Everything looks like it's buffering. Yeah, we have some buffering. Sorry, guys. Thanks, Barbara. Yeah, like I said, I'm accident prone. I haven't told you guys about all of the all the crazy yeah, trips to the hospital and flight for lives and all that, but that's okay. Another day, another time. Thankfully, I've been doing okay lately, but I was so accident prone. Like by the time I was 19, I had 2 flight for lives and would have had a third one if the weather hadn't come in. So since then, I've been okay. Just crazy, weird fluke accidents. Okay. I see that I think we have a bit of buffering, but I'll hang in here a little bit past 8 o'clock for those of you guys that have any other questions that that might come up. Just, you can see how I'm making this a little bit darker down here at the bottom. And then it'll kind of tie in up there. And I do have a little bit of that carbon built up on that point. It's a little bit sticky as I'm burning some of the darker areas. Rich has a question. What is the next project idea? What are the next project ideas after the Dolphin? Well, next week we'll do color. We'll do acrylic paint. And then you guys think over the next week what you might want to create. And then next week we will decide what to do for the next week. So we'll do the color thing next week, and then at that point we'll decide what. Will, he has to stop his download. TH says, if we post this, how do you want us to credit or reference you? You can reference, just reference me for right now, or Minisa Pyrography is fine if you create this project. Even my Patreon page would be fine to credit, and I thank you for that as far as the credit. Okay, Barbara, you're still there. Awesome. Hey, I think we're catching up on the buffering. So again, any questions that you guys have, let me know. Thanks, Barbara. Yeah, very accident prone when I was younger. And I know that I don't always kind of broadcast or announce the live streams like I should. Just figure on a live stream every Friday unless you hear that I can't create a live stream. So if I can't make a live stream, I post it everywhere. You know, I do send outs and all that to let people know that I can't, you know, I'm sick, or the family is sick, or there's some problem. So just assume that we will have a live stream. And if we don't, I will blast it from the rooftops that we won't have a live stream. So, but I do need to get better as far as the social media thing, letting people know what I'm doing and about the live streams. Okay, so let's turn this around. I usually don't like sticking tape to the surface of my burning because it lifts off a little bit of the wood. All right, in here. So we're close on this project. We don't have like all of the waves in there yet. A lot of this is kind of some lighter values. You know, I'm going to turn the burner down a little bit more. I'm going to turn it down to where the kind of halfway through the orange section. And if you don't mind hanging in here a little bit longer, I should be able to make these lighter tones pretty quickly, and we'll try to finish this up. Okay. Alrighty guys, here we go. Let me see what I can do to kind of finish this a little bit more. These lighter values will go quite quickly. So I'm not going to get into all the webbing and detail of those upper splashes. We'll probably, I might kind of finish those up next week before we start color, if you really want to see those. So, oh wow, Terry, that's really scary. Almost drowning 3 different times. Man, yeah, I don't like water. Like, I love creeks and streams and little lakes, but I do not like big water. Oceans and big bodies of water I find quite terrifying. I went to the beach one time. I was actually pregnant with my daughter and went to the beach on a family trip, and I did not like it at all. I found it very stressful and terrifying because I'm at 9,000 feet, and when you're at the ocean, it's like the ocean is higher than you, and I felt like in a hole. It was crazy, very scary. But I know a lot of people just love the beach and find it peaceful and relaxing, and that's great. I'm really not one of them, but some people don't like the mountains either, so. Okay, so Earthborn Graphics, you have like an alert on your phone before the streams. Awesome. I've had a little bit of a problem scheduling the streams because of the time change here in Colorado. It gives me different times on different devices, and it's a bit frustrating. So, it's always at the same time, and I'm trying to work through that. So thank you. TH, make sure you take some time off too. Yeah, I'll try if life ever kind of like quiets down a little bit. Mina, yes, the link for the live stream is also always the same. Thanks, Barbara. Hello, Monte. Glad you can be here. Angela, yeah, social media is a challenge. Awesome. TH says YouTube has an option for notifications. So if you subscribe and then hit the, click the bell, it will notify you whenever I schedule another stream, another live stream. Thanks, guys. Terry says, how many times do you have to change out the electrical tape? I've not been burning a lot lately because I've been shoveling snow. I don't know, whenever it stops getting it, when it won't hold anymore, I just replace the electrical tape. Thanks, guys. Okay. Okay, so the whole chat is going to team up and go get Cash because he won't stop his download, which is making everybody lag. I will fix that for next week, guys. That won't happen again. So adding a little bit more shading down here for the waves to kind of tie everything in. Cash, are you there?
Yeah.
No more downloads.
It's like 2 minutes away from being done.
It doesn't matter. In the future, you do not do downloads on Friday nights from 6 to 8.
All right.
Thank you. Everybody in the chat is like, we're gonna get him. Okay, so thanks for hanging in here for a little bit. And we'll just kind of finish this up and do these lighter values. Wow, so Terry, yeah, you're in Florida. Yeah, I couldn't imagine. You know, I've been kind of in the mountains my whole life, but after moving up on this ridge at 9,000 feet, and everything in the world is like below you. I don't like being down low. I like being up high where I can see stuff. And avoid floods. Not much is going to flood up here. And if it does, we're in a whole lot of trouble. Everybody's in a lot of trouble. If it floods at 9,000 feet, it's not good. Okay, guys. So I think we're getting really close to wrapping this up. Those are kind of some really quick marks. And I can massage that a little bit more at the beginning of next week's live stream if you want me to, before the color, or we can just dive right into color. I'll probably, see, I didn't even do that, probably add like a little, kind of a little line in here to signify where the water is. So it needs a little bit more work on the lighter values just to kind of make it more rounded out. But I like it. I love the design, especially the circular design. And it needs a little fine tuning, but it's pretty close. So thank you everybody for hanging in there. I know we're about 5 minutes past. So glad for everybody being here. Rich is asking, any word about the Pyro Summit in May? When we did the Woodburn sessions, Rachel with Woodburn Corner said that there was another Pyro Summit coming this year. I don't know a specific date for that at this time. So I don't know, but it sounds like there will be another one this year. Hopefully this spring. I don't know. But she's really good about announcing that and letting everybody know. So once I hear, you know, if I'm allowed to pass that on, I will. So Monte, so glad that you're here. Good job on college. And so glad that you can join and watch in, but stay up on your homework for sure. All right, guys. Thanks. Oh, we have buffering again. So Monte is saying, is this one person causing the buffering? I'm joining the angry mob. Hey, Cash.
Yeah.
They're getting pitchforks and torches.
Alan's probably already done by now.
Oh, I know, but you can't do this again. This has been a problem, so the problem will be fixed soon. All right, guys. I don't know. Thanks, Monte. I'm glad that you liked the dolphin.
Yeah, it stopped a little bit ago.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to catch up on my thing here. I about burned my mouse. That was bad. Okay, so I hope everybody has a fantastic week. I hope you guys all stay safe and healthy and warm and just lovely. And I will see you guys, next week is where's the glare? Next week, the 31st, is Friday. Terry, I don't think I have a live stream on the 3rd of April. In fact, let me look at the calendar. I will not be doing a live stream on Good Friday, the Friday before Easter. I think Easter is the 9th. I will not be doing a live stream on the 7th. April 7th, I will not be doing a live stream because I won't be here. I get together with family on that day. So the 31st, we will do the color project as far as adding acrylic paint to a wood burning. I'll try to have a few different options to add color to, and that will be on March 31st. Everybody have a wonderful day.